Hello, my name is Brian Kirk, and I'm delighted to be reading as part of the Skibbereen Speakeasy series. I want to say thanks to Paul Kestel for inviting me to read today. It's a great privilege. Um, I'd like to read some poems today, newish poems which are about memory and about family. And we've had a funny year, I suppose, with COVID and all that, and I suppose a lot of us have been writing poems about that. I have, but I'm not going to read any of those kind of poems today. I'm going to start off with a poem, I suppose, about my father, who, among other things, he liked to place a bet and he liked to do the pools. So this poem is called Windfall, and I'd like to dedicate it to him. It looks so easy on the face of it. Pick 8 home wins, 4 draws or 4 aways, but these would pay out less. He always went for 8 score draws, chosen from the 4 divisions, the treble chance, a maximum of 24 points to be scored. Week in, week out, he made his X's on the coupon, paid his cash. Why wouldn't he when Cyril Grimes from Hampshire won $500,000 only weeks before? Good money after bad, that's what we thought. But every Saturday the teleprinter hypnotised us as we watched in hope until the classified results announced their disappointment with a falling cadence. The next poem I'm going to read is it's dedicated to my parents, and it's called Googling My Parents. Unfortunately, my parents died long before the onset of the internet or Google or any of those things, and the memories we have of them are the old school memories of our own memories in our imagination and in our minds, but also photographs. So I wrote this poem anyway, just thinking about those kind of ideas, Googling my parents. When I Googled my parents, there were no matching results, only traces of others who bore the same names, living counterfeit lives that failed to reflect the authenticity of monochrome days I recall in that house by the railway line, where the sun shone all summer, where huge ash trees waved their hysterical arms in March winds, and a thin frost painted a dull world silver on the shortest days. My parents don't exist in the world, real or virtual, but are trapped in stacks of wrinkled snaps. They look out at me with unseeing eyes, perplexed, uncertain, frozen in a moment snatched from time. I know there's no option to reboot, no going back except through memory's patched up matinee. From time to time, to kickstart reminiscence, I read their names in stone among a host of other names on stones, ranged on a blanket of land that rolls down to the sea near home. Perhaps the mind is a hard drive, scanning the residue of lives no longer with us, its circuits switching on and off, firing in dreams where the dead arise, their voices talking out of the bright cloud. The final poem I'd like to read is a poem that's kind of important to me, and I wrote it last year, and it's about actually the house where myself and my family grew up, and it was the station house originally, and we bought it off CIE at some stage, and then after my parents passed away, we sold it, but it ended up getting back into CIE's hands, and unfortunately they ended up demolishing it to extend the car park at the station. So every time I go past it, it's an absence there, and I can picture it where it should be. And I suppose it still lives on very strongly in the minds and the imagination of myself and all my family as well. So I'd like to dedicate this poem to my family, The Invisible House. In dreams I take the train from town, shunting through grass embankments to the station, signal box, footbridge, goods wagon, in the siding, the roof of station house visible behind high hedges. I'm walking down the lane that never had a name, where a huge ash dwarfs the entrance to the backyard, flat roof extension, the old timber shed built from creosote leaking sleepers, the garage we called it, the block outhouse with toilet attached, open steel tank on top, filled with rainwater, sludge, dead leaves, and out in the field the black shed, caving in, where we fattened pigs for market. A yard of gravel and muck, with no path to the door. Open it. What do you see? bare rooms where all stories began. Up the hall to the scullery and into the kitchen, flagged yellow and red, blackened by years and the comings and goings of feet, careless of time. Year after year we came and went as regular as the trains, the house filling up only to empty again over time, like rainwater in a barrel. Now it is a shell, a perfect multiplicity of difference, shaped around the body, snug and protective, warm and affecting the senses in ways that can't be explained. The kitchen hums an old song I can almost remember, cold as the pots that hang in the scullery, warm as the cold-swallowing range. My voice strains to meet it, but can't reach the pitch of bubble and hiss, shallow dripping of rainwater, accumulating years of rust on the tongue. I'm standing at the top of the road and looking down on the car park, the ghosts of fields, lanes and sheds, the invisible house towering over the rows of shining insipid cars. All day they wait, suspended, for something to happen, but nothing will. I walk around the lot. I don't care who's watching, and try the back door. It opens, as I knew it would, and I'm inside, and everyone is there again, and there's no more waiting now. There will be time for all of us to find the things we lost along the way, to learn the words of songs we always longed to sing but never had the heart. And we will sound okay, better than we'd ever thought, and we will laugh at ourselves and only at ourselves and freely share the joke with others. Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks again to Paul and Skibbereen Speakeasy.